Okay. Okay, we start. Okay, the important, very important, the heart of that this chapter, that is the name of the concept, valence shell. See the name and how much big it is. Electron pair VSEPR. This is the very big concept, but easy to understand. Also, okay, so write down valence shell electron pair repulsion theory VSEPR. Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory VSEPR. So there are some postulates for this theory. There are some points for this theory. So we'll discuss their main postulates. Postulates. Rules, we can say postulates, we can say meaning is same. Postulates. Postulates of this theory. Okay, exam में आता direct question आता write any two postulates of SCPR theory. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 postulates. One by one we'll discuss. Some postulates I will explain you with an example also in between. पहले explain करूँगा ना. So let's take down the first postulate. Okay, the first postulate write down the shape of a molecule. The shape of a molecule depends upon the number of the shape of a molecule depends upon the number of valence shell electron pairs. Valence shell electron pair. In the bracket, write down bonded or non-bonded. Bonded or non-bonded. Around the central atom. Around the central atom. This is the first postulate. Second one. Explain करता हूँ सब. Just let me finish with this part. Second one. Pairs of electrons. Pairs of electrons in the valence shell. Pairs of electrons in the valence shell repel one another. Repel one another. Since they are repel one another. Since they are electron clouds are negatively charged. Are negatively charged. The third one. These pairs of electrons, tends to occupy. These pairs of electrons tends to occupy such position in space that minimize repulsion. Such position in space that minimize repulsion and thus maximize distance between them. And thus maximize distance between them. And thus maximize distance between them. The fourth postulate, the valence shell is taken as a sphere. The valence shell is taken as a sphere. With the electron pairs with the electron pairs localizing with the electron pairs localizing on the spherical surface on the spherical surface at maximum distance at maximum distance from one another from one another. Next postulate. A multiple bond is treated as if it is a single electron pair. It's treated as a single electron pair, and the 2 or 3 electron pairs of a multiple bond and the 2 or 3 electron pairs of a multiple bond are treated as single super pair are treated as single super pairs. And the last one, where 2 or more resonance structures can represent a molecule, where 2 or more resonance, spelling resonance, very important concept. करता हो concept, खूप त्रास करता हो concept resonance. When 2 or more resonance structures can represent a molecule, the VSEPR model is applicable to any such structure. Okay, so these are the postulates of VSEPR theory. In the exam, teachers can ask you any of these postulates. So total 6 postulates are there. Now I will explain you around first. Thought explain करता, thought मागे example येता, कसे explain करता. Okay, so be with me here. Read with me the first postulate. What the first postulate is telling us? The shape of a molecule depends upon what? The number of valence shell electron pairs, bonded or non-bonded, around the central atom. The second postulate tells us pairs of electrons in the valence shell repel one another since the electron clouds are negatively charged. So let's take one example here. So the first example what I will take is BF3. Very simple example, BeCl2. See students, whenever we discuss about any molecule, try to understand this. If we are discussing about the structure of that molecule, दोन things important असतात. एक असा shape and दुसरा असा geometry. Be careful. Some molecules, shape and geometry both will be same. Some molecules, shape and geometry both will be what? Same. In some molecules, shape will be different and geometry will be also different. So it depends. There is a criteria for that. Okay. So let's take very simple example, BeCl2. So first thing you should know to identify, as I told you in the Lewis dot structure, the central atom. So आता central atom automatic criteria, who is the central atom here? कोण असतो सांगतोय central atom? It will be beryllium. आता beryllium electronic configuration I will write here 1s2 आणि किती 2s2 2s1? 2s1? It is 2s2. So how many which is the valence shell here? Outermost shell is the valence shell. Now how many electrons are there? 2. So 2 valence electrons. Okay. So beryllium will make 2 bonds with whom? Chlorine, by using his what? 2 valence electrons. Don't forget about chlorine. Beryllium कोणाकडे bond करतलो? Chlorine, by using his 2 valence electrons. Now go for the postulate. First postulate, be with me. The shape of a molecule depends upon what? Number of valence shell electrons, bonded or non-bonded around the central atom. So आमचं central atom important. त्याच्या around जितले valence shell electron असतले तेचेर आमगे कोण depend आसा? Shape आणि geometry, moleculaचं shape and geometry. आता आम्ही shape म्हटलं, geometry म्हटलं. As I told you, shape and geometry both can be what? Same. Shape and geometry both can be what? Different. Main आमचं कोण आमका central atomaचं valence shell. Okay, I have not discussed about the beryllium chloride atom, about the shape. So this you understood the first part. What we have to go for? The valence shell electrons, valence shell electrons, which we have already discussed. Starting the first concept of our chapter. काढले आम्ही up to 15 तरी का 18 कितले काढले आम्ही? कितले म्हणा काढले आम्ही? 15 to 18. थोडे हांव सांगतो तुमका. In between जर मातशे example different असतानी that I will tell you. ते automatic कळटले बी तुमका. Don't worry about it. ती guarantee हांव दिता. Okay. The second point पळय. Second point पळय. So first clear. आता हांवें बॉन्डेड नॉन बॉन्डेड म्हटलं पळय तो तुमकां मागीर एक्सप्लेन करता. आता बॉन्डेड आनी नॉन बॉन्डेड म्हटल्यार कितें? देयर इज अ इन द ब्रॅकेट आय गिवन ना बॉन्डेड आनी नॉन बॉन्डेड म्हणजे कितें? हे जे 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन आसा ते क्लोरिना बॉन्ड झाले. They are bonded. So नॉन बॉन्डेड इलेक्ट्रॉन आनी कितें आसतले? तेचे फुडें बेरिलियम हैज हाउ मेनी वॅलन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स? 2. दोन्ही कितें केले? क्लोरिना बॉन्ड केले. So is there any नॉन बॉन्डेड? नॉन बॉन्डेड आसा मातशी इफेक्ट जाता. That also I will tell you. इतली सद्या मातशे बेसिक एक्झाम्पल घेतला. Okay, go for the second point. Pairs of electrons in the valence shell repel one another since the electron clouds are what? Negatively charged. आता this is important. Students, हे जे 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन पेअर असतात. आता बेरिलियमा 2च आसा न्ही, एकच पेअर आसा न्ही. बेरिलियमा एकच पेअर आसा. बाकीचे आमगेले सेंट्रल एटम येतले तेका आनी पेअर आसतले न्ही. एक पेअर म्हणल्यार 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन हे न्हू. आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल कार्बन आसा आमगेलो कार्बन. कार्बना कडेन कितले वॅलन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आसात? 4 वॅलन्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आसा हे सांगू. सो त्याचे पेअर कितले झाले? 2 पेअर. सो ते आताच्या एटलास देर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ओनली नो. सो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हॅज व्हॉट चार्ज? नेगेटिव्ह चार्ज. सो ते क्लाउड किती जातलो? रिपेल करपाक लागतलो एकमेकाक. तेच न्हू. सो तेजे अकॉर्डिंग आमी शेप आनी जिओमेट्री किती जातली? चेंज जातली. शेप आनी जिओमेट्री किती जातली? चेंज. Go for the third point. Very important point, third one. These pair of electrons tend to occupy such position in space that should minimize what? Repulsion and maximize distance. Okay, try to understand this part. Try to understand this part. Okay, focus here. Consider in between is beryllium. What is the beryllium? आता हांगा एक इलेक्ट्रॉन पेअर आसा. Beryllium and chlorine. Here also we have beryllium and chlorine. Consider I have kept one chlorine here, one chlorine here. Next class is structure atom. Okay, which I made of the balls, the atom structures. So they must imagine. Okay, so this is my chlorine, this is my chlorine. So there will be repulsion here. There will be repulsion here. हांगा be electron pair asa, हांगा be electron asa, हांगा be bond asa. Let it be bond or let it be lone pair. आता lone pair मला कळटा न्ही. Which electrons which are not taking part in bonding, non-bonded. Bond pair म्हटल्यार which are already bonded. So हे bonded electrons आसा 2 हांगा. Bonded आसा, हे बी bonded आसा. Bonded म्हटल्यार electrons आसा. So there will be repulsion here. So we have to keep those bonds. We have to keep those bonds in such a way that there should be minimum repulsion. आणि जर म्हाका रिपल्शन मिनिमम करपाक जाय म्हाका ते बॉन्ड पयस करचे पडले. म्हाका जर त्या बॉन्ड्सा मदीं आतां पळय someone can say I can put those chlorine in like this. Yes or no? त्यात जाता लेविस ड्रॉ स्ट्रक्चराक सांगलेले there is no criteria to draw those structures. तू जाय ती काडपाक शकता कोणी. because it doesn't tell you the shape. I mean, limitation kela nahi. It doesn't tell us anything about shape and geometry. But is it, what do you think? Is it possible to keep it so much close? Repulsion. The postulate is telling us repulsion. So the repulsion automatic. The repulsion also arrange there is a chance that we will see like this, no? I mean, arrange repulsion. So we have to keep it like this. There should be what? Minimum repulsion. So हमको जर repulsion minimum करपा जाए, we have to move it, and move के जाए हमें distance किस maximum. So can you tell me what will be the best way to keep these two chlorines? See, like this we have to keep. Yes or no? So अशी केल्या possible जाता. This distance will increase, but this distance will be less. The down distance will be less. So we should keep it at this angle. Yes or no? Meaning what is this angle? 180 degree. Master 1 point idea. Master so we have to keep it at minimum repulsion, and so minimum repulsion distance is maximum. Correct, sir? Okay, so that's why you understood why I have drawn this beryllium chloride like this. What is this angle? What is this angle? 180 degrees. There are some exception cases in this also. Huh? Methane molecule methane and much different. I will tell you what's different. This is not two-dimensional, or three-dimensional geometry. Like 3 bond, 3 bond, चौथी bond 6 bonds also molecule we have. 7 bonds molecules also we have. 8 bonds molecule also we have. So imagine 8 bonds. How does it look like? Imagine very difficult. So at least B is clear to is clear. A clear asa now. So first thing, पहिले आम्ही valence electron काढले आम्ही आणि पुढे 2 valence electrons असतात त्याचे. So the दोन्ही valence electrons I have placed or I have bonded with chlorine such that this distance is what? Sorry, repulsion is what here? Repulsion is what? Minimum. And here repulsion कसले म्हणताय का आम्ही? BP means bond pair repulsion. दोन्ही bond pair नाही ते. Lone pair is not there here. So दोन्ही both are what? Bond pair. So this repulsion is what here? Bond pair, repulsion, and it is repulsion, and it is what? Minimum distance. Minimum, sorry. So minimum and distance is what? And maximum distance. That clear, sir? Okay. Now, the more next information I will write. Because this is geometry and structure. Linear this one. So याची geometry किती झाली आता? Geometry किती झाली? Linear झाली. कळलं नाही? Why it is called as linear? Understood why it is called as linear? The first geometry I am explaining you. First very simple example. It is called as what? Linear. First something. In this linear geometry, how many bond pairs I have? 2. How many lone pairs I have? 0. So whenever lone pairs are 0, whenever I say lone pairs are 0, the shape will also remain same. The shape will also remain same. Shape can change that I will tell you also. Don't worry. But it's like then a lone pair माझं 0 असतले, bond pair whatever it may be, it will change. According to geometry change जातले. त्या example करते पोया. So जेव्हा माझं lone pair 0 असतलो, माझं shape किती उरतलो? Shape and geometry will be what? Same. Shape and geometry will be what? Same. Clear asa? The type here I have to write. The type here I have to write. So we consider this as like this. What? A, B, 2. A is for central atom, B is for the corner atoms. A is for the central atom, B is for the corner atoms. So the type here is what? A, B2, E0. E means lone pairs. E means what? Lone pairs. So what is the type here? AB2, or we can also write it as what? AB2 E0. In some schools, it is also given as AB2 L0. In some schools, it is given L also. L मतलब किधर? Lone pair. E मतलब किधर? Lone pair. Or AB2. Nothing written means what? Lone pairs are what? 0. All the 3 types. Understood? पळय हांव परत सांगता तुमकां जॉमेट्री याद धरपाक यू हॅव टू रिमेंबर द टायप. जॉमेट्री जर तुमकां ऑटोमॅटिक पयल्यार कळटली यूज टू जातली तुमी, बट शेप इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट एज वी प्रोसीड विथ द एग्जांपल्स. सो फर्स्ट एग्जांपल कळ्ळें आमकां. Yes, what is the example here? BeCl2. What is the geometry here? How many bond pairs I have? 2. How many lone pairs I have? 0. So that's why shape is what here? Linear. Geometry is linear. Shape is linear. Since lone pair 0, geometry and shape is what? Same. Type is AB2E0. AB2E0. Is this clear? First example, take a note. Angle बरं geometry सारखो काढा. असे कलरिंग पेन्स कॅरी करात तभी क्लियर आहे. henceforth बाकीचे मॉलिक्युल पळय आमी शेप मागीर बरोवया. सो दॅट हांव स्ट्रक्चर हाडटलें आमकां बऱ्या पडटलें अंडरस्टँड जावपाक. सद्या आयज आमी जॉमेट्री हे टायपूच अंडरस्टँड जावन घेवया. टुडेज क्लास जॉमेट्री एंड टायप. रायकर बरें मुगो मेळटा मातशें कितें. What is the other one? Shania. How is Simone? She's at home. She's not staying in hospital and all. She's not staying in hospital and all. Not yet started college. So she will be staying in hostel. She will enjoy. Hostel life is good, huh? Boys, लायफाक केन्ना चान्स मेळ्ळा हॉस्टेलार रावपाचें. You will stay? No. You will never stay in hostel. You are ready, what? Yes? Good. Hostel life is good. Best मजा था. Yeah, very good. Which hostel? अरे गर्ल्स हॉस्टेला मजा ना. You have to you. अरे आम्ही केलते हांव सांगपाकूय शकना. I told you, that 15th August story. There are many stories also. I'll tell you one day. No worries. Okay, बरोबर. Okay. एक्झाम्पल्स नोट करून दवरात हा सगळी. हेज्या भायले एक्झाम्पल विचारपाना तुमकां आनी स्कुलाक. Whatever the examples I'm discussing, only those examples will come. थोडं होमवर्काकय बी दिता मागीर मदीं मदीं. So अनेक example for BCl2 under you can also write for HgCl2. HgCl2. It also has outermost shell. It also has only 2 valence electrons. Okay, so take a note of this example. The next example, the next type is BF3. BF3. The best friends. Okay, BF3. The next type of example. HgCl2 you note under that first type. HgCl2 you note and keep under the first type. Okay, HgCl2. Note and keep. So this is second type. BF3. So first, as I told you, write a electronic configuration of boron. Atomic number kitla? Check. 5 ni. 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. How many valence electrons it has? 3. And kitli bonds करपा जाय तेका? 3. Okay, so can you tell me the type here? Type, type. A, B, 3. E 0 astolo. E will be what? 0. There will be no lone pair. Because all the three valence electrons will be used for bonding with fluorine. Yes or no? Right up? Okay. Now, can you tell me the geometry and shape? We have to discuss about a geometry and shape. We'll discuss, huh? Don't worry. Geometry, shape. So we have to arrange them in such a way that आमच्याकडे 360 degree sphere असतात. The sphere was asked, no? Sphere was mentioned in the postulate. आमच्याकडे 3 degrees असतात. So if I can arrange like this, imagine it's a 3-dimensional. I think this is the minimum repulsion it will have. It has all the bond pairs. All the 3 are what? Bond pairs. So how many bond pairs also I will write? Bond pairs are how many here? Bond pairs are how many? 3. Lone pairs are how many? 0. So that's why geometry and shape will be same. Now I have to arrange the 3 bond pairs such a way that their repulsion between the 3 should be what? So I can say I will arrange like this. What will be the distance between these two? Can you tell me? What should be the distance between these two? At what distance I can arrange them? Tell me. It will be 120, 120 and 120. Total will be what? 360. आणि पॉसिबल असं आमका मिनिमम रिपल्शन करपाक आणि किती पॉसिबिलिटी असं अंडरस्टँड जाता सगळ्याक प्लीज हा इज अ व्हेरी इझी एक्झाम्पल आणि किती पॉसिबिलिटी असं आमका सो वी कॅन कीप ऑल द 3 bond pairs at an angle of what? 120. So see here how the structure, how the geometry will look like. So one fluorine here, one fluorine here. Imaginary आता हे घेऊन दिसपा गरज ना protector. Should look like 180. So this angle will be what? 180 degree. Sorry. My mistake. 120 degree. Yes. How this geometry looks like? It doesn't look like a. It does look like a triangle. It does look like a triangle, and these bonds are present in one plane. All these 3 bonds are present in what? One plane. These 3 bonds are present in what? One plane. So whenever it looks like a triangle, it's present in one plane. The geometry here is called as trigonal planar. So geometry here is called as what? Trigonal planar. So whenever students there is bond pair 3, the geometry will always look like what? The geometry will be always same. Shape may change. Whenever you have bond pair 3, whenever your total count is 3, lone pairs plus bond pairs. Whenever your total count is 3, lone pair plus bond pairs, your count is 3, your geometry will be always what? Trigonal planar. Is what now since lone pairs are 0, geometry and shape will remain what? Same. The total, if the bond pairs are three, lone pairs are 0, total count is 3. That time your geometry will be what? Trigonal planar. Since the lone pairs are 0, the shape and geometry will be also same. Whenever your type here is what? A, B, 3, E, 0. What is the minimum of E, 0? Lone pair 0. Clear, asa? Geometry has there, shape. It will change. Shape, it will change. I will tell you when it changes also. Don't worry about that. Geometry सध्या याद धरायची तिचा geometry, bond pair, lone pair आणि type. इतलेच important म्हाका. Shape मागीर करूया आमी आनी 2-3 क्लासाचा आमकां. Draw the geometry, huh? Draw the geometry. आता मातशी डिफिकल्टी जातली हा. The only example which creates a lot of confusion. The third type what I'm discussing. The example is CH4. You all know this person. Who is this? Okay. 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. How many valence electrons? 4 valence electrons. So can you tell me how many bond pairs it will have? Bond pair 4 करतो लगे 4 hydrogen आता. How many lone pair? 0. So total count is what? 4. So whenever the total count is 4, whenever the bond pair plus lone pair count is 4, the geometry what we get is called as tetrahedral. Since there are lone pairs are 0, the shape is also tetrahedral. Can you tell me the type here? A, B, 4, C, 0. Sometimes L0 also is written. So how tetrahedral looks like? Yeah? The concept structure actually important there. Can you see this stand? Can you see the stand? First hydrogen, second hydrogen, third hydrogen, and fourth hydrogen. I will draw and show now. So this is carbon. This is first hydrogen inside the board. Second hydrogen towards me. Third hydrogen, and this way it is 4 hydrogen. The angle between this the above hydrogen and this hydrogen is 109.5 degree. Ata, why this is arranged like this? The best possible way, the geometry of this is called as tetrahedral. The geometry is called as what? Tetrahedral. Can you tell me why this is arranged like this? So this is the possibility where the repulsion between the all 4 bond pairs is what? Minimum. So this is the way best possible way. Between the 2 bond pairs, the repulsion is what? What is the geometry called as? Tetrahedral. Understood? Whenever the lone pair plus bond pair count is 4, the geometry is tetrahedral, shape will also remain the same. So cannot change the opener. Whenever you are getting the count is 4, the geometry will remain fixed. That is what? Tetrahedral. Shape may vary depending upon the lone pair. Like you can get bond pairs 2, lone pairs 2. Count is what? 4. That's why geometry fixed. It's 3. Tetrahedral. Shape will change. That will discuss. Clear as the item? Take a note of this. Understanding? Understanding? Disha is studying at home. She is revising chemistry. Today, what you do? For us, fine, huh? Today. Just go whenever she is studying. Now, just check which subject she is studying and let me know. Today and tomorrow. Okay? Don't tell her I told you. Understanding? Little bit. Hey, Oshinate. See, imagine this one. It's wrong. Imagine this. Imagine this and draw. Perut cut. Draw the geometry correctly, students. Boy. Carbon, hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. It should look like a tetrahedral. Please draw it correctly. No, don't draw it straight. Just show me. Draw that hydrogen little more broader. This hydrogen. Please. See, imagine this. तीन टाइप करेंगे. Okay. Next type is, the example is PCl5. Be with me here. Be with me. Electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. How many valence electrons? 5 valence electrons. So how many bond pairs? 5 bond pairs, because 5 chlorines are there. So it will surely make 5 bond pairs. Lone pair is what? 0. Total count is what? 5. Type is what here? AB5 is 0. Okay with this? So how these 5 bond pairs are arranged? अशी imagine करपा difficult जाता. ते धाडपास हाडपा जाय आशिल्लें structures. So can you see this triangle? This triangle is present in what? One plane. This triangle is present in what? One plane. What is the angle between these two? This two, 120, this two, 120. The best possible way in this plane, I can arrange these 3 bond pairs at a minimum repulsion. That angle should be what? 120. Chlorine is present here, another chlorine, third chlorine. This will be the fourth chlorine, and below will be the fifth chlorine. What will be this angle? This will be, they are present in one plane. They are hydrogen different. Tetrahedral hydrogen different, this hydrogen are different. So here we have to place 5 bonds. The charge bond are. Here we have what? 5 bonds. So this angle will be what? 90. And this angle between will be what? Black and blue. Again, 90. How does it look like? This looks like a triangle. So it will be called as trigonal. This will be called as what? Triangle. So it will be called as what? Trigonal. This looks like a pyramid. Yes, this will be called as pyramid. So this is one, and below will be another. This will be one. This will be called as what? Below will be another. So 2 pyramids. So it will be called as trigonal. The geometry here will be called as the geometry when the count is 5. Whenever the count is lone pair plus bond pair count is 5, the geometry will be trigonal. Understood why it is called as trigonal? And how many pyramids we have? 2. So it is called as bipyramidal. Trigonal, bipyramidal. Don't pyramid ni, that's why bi. Bi means 2 and pyramidal. Okay, don't write pyramid, don't write triangle bipyramidal. Wrong way of writing. It should be trigonal bipyramidal. Don't write triangle bipyramid. Very much wrong. The saying for this is like this: trigonal bipyramidal. Can you tell me the shape now? Shape, it will remain same. Since the lone pairs are what? 0. So it is called as, the shape will be also trigonal bipyramidal. I will just explain the geometry again. I will just explain the geometry again. Don't worry, next class structures घेऊन येता आणि clear करतो. As much imagine करो. This is the triangle. What is the angle between these two? 120. The angle between these two? 90, and this two? 90. This is called as what? Trigonal. This is first pyramid. Second is second pyramid. So it is called as trigonal bipyramid. Okay, how we have to draw it? Drawing how we have to draw. We make a lot of mistakes while drawing also. Exam geometry and shape. So phosphorus. So first I will draw this trigonal part. 1 chlorine, 2 chlorine, 3 chlorine. I will join them. Direction decoration करता. This is a trigonal part. आता एजोवर कोण येतलो? आणि क्लोरीन येतलो आणि याची सकयल कोण येतलो? Connect chlorine. So this will be joined here like this. Yes or no? So this angle will be what? 90 degree. This angle will be what? 120. So this chlorine also will be joined like this. जर तुम्ही अंडरस्टँड जाऊन काढल्यावर तर तुका इमॅजिन जातले आता अंडरस्टँड जाऊन काढणारा तुकले वयल्यान गेले पॉसिबल परत सांगतो पळय दिस इज फॉस्फरस एक क्लोरीन दोन क्लोरीन तीन क्लोरीन याचा अँगुलर पार्ट झालो जॉईन डेम लाईक दिस दिस इज माय ट्रायगोनल पार्ट मागीर म्हाका कितें येतलो फर्स्ट पिरामीड येतलो न्ही फर्स्ट पिरामीड जॉईन डेम टू ईच क्लोरीन हो एक पिरामीड झालो अनेक pyramid aside downward join these chlorines. That's why coloring pens are important. Understood the geometry? What is the geometry called as? Trigonal pyramid. Is it understood? Has it been understood? This side? Okay, take a note of this. Right here. अशे तरी good. I hope everyone knows how to write type, huh? Type बरोबर काय नाही सगळ्या. I hope everyone knows to write type. Physico, Benjamin. ठीक आहे. मातशें तुमकां आनी मातशें क्लियर कट कळपाक जाय मातशें. Take your time, but do it correctly, please. कोण कलरिंग पेन असतात तिथे ना इथले आहे म्हणजे many here बाकी किती what she is doing घेऊन होता डायरेक्ट नाही तू पेटे पान पट्टा ते बेजार करत असतो न्ही फक्त खेळपा म्हणटा आपणा बरोबर okay draw with me some of you are really struggling draw with me phosphorus chlorine 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 join them यातली पहिली draw कर draw this first all those who are struggling draw this first once you finish let me know then draw this chlorine and see how I'm joining this. Join this chlorine, first triangle chlorine to this chlorine, second triangle chlorine to this chlorine, and third triangle chlorine to this chlorine. But I also called माहित also called meaning thing काय problem ना. It should look like a triangle. That's it. Trigonal bipyramidal. After this, draw this down pyramid. Again, draw those triangle chlorines. Connect those triangle chlorines to this. The structure will be over. कळटा मातशी डिफिकल्टी कितें जाता ती. See, now these are all bond pairs. Imagine lone pairs then kids of the problem. Because there will be repulsion. Many things will come into picture. The shape will totally change. Geometry will remain same. Shape को कितने vary जातो. Join this fluorine. कितने type झाले 4 नहीं. These are very basic examples. Huh? These are very basic examples. We have to do more best examples. We have to do. Okay. So first type was what? The lone pair and bond pair count was 2. The lone pair and bond pair count was 2. What was the geometry there? 3 new. Second count is what? Lone pair and bond pair count was 3. Lone pair was 0, bond pair was 3. What is the geometry? Trigonal, planar. Trigonal, planar. For the fourth one, lone pair was 0, bond pair was 4. Count was 4. The geometry is tetrahedron. Since lone pair is 0, shape is also same. For the fourth one, the lone pair was 0, bond pair was 5. The geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. The next one, SF6, sulfur electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So structure or geometry पे यहाँ difficulty रखली है mastery. So please be careful for the geometry. 3s2, 3p4. Yes or no? So how many valence electrons I have? 6 valence electrons. Don't write. I will give time to write. खूप 40 सांगायला आवश्यक आहे त्याने बरोबरचे ना. I'm not going that much fast. So how many bond pairs? 6. How many lone pairs? 0. Total count is what? 6. This no need to show. हे दोनों important है. Best आमची information करती बरेता. Total count. So whenever total count is 6, what is the type here? AB6 is 0. इतने type change जातले मुखार example जैसे different करता type भी change जातलो. But you should know what you are writing. This is central atom. This is corner atoms. And this is lone pair. See this part you know. Now the geometry, how does it look like? Very difficult. This looks like a square. This looks like a square. 8 fluorine, 2 fluorine, 3 fluorine, 4 fluorine. They are present in one plane. अब तो म्हणटाले सर हांगा ट्रायंगल कित्याक करू ना? Because आमचे एलिमेंट कितले बॉन्ड्स करपा जाय आमकां 6. आमकां बॉन्ड चेंज करपा जाय. Like that we have to arrange them. So I have arranged. What is the angle between these two? 90. 9 total is 360. Best possible minimum repulsion. आणि किती possible असा हांगा minimum तो कितले bonds जाले 4. The next bond will be at the top. This will be another fluorine 5. Completed है ना? And the last one here. This will be 6. What is the distance between this? Sorry, angle between these two? 90. What type of repulsion is between these two? Bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, bond pair. What type of repulsion between these two? Bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, bond pair. Minimum repulsion, bend करपा मेळटा म्हाका एका आणि bend करपा मेळटा. So to keep it like this only, yes or no? To get the minimum repulsion. Maximum distance इतलें जातलें. तेच्या आनी possible आसा. पळय हे सायडच्यान bend केलो, हे सायडच्यान distance वाडयलें, but हांगले आसतालें न्ही? Yes or no? हे सायडच्यान bend केलें, this distance is minimum, maximum. Sorry, this distance is maximum, repulsion is minimum. But what about this? This repulsion will be more, yes or no? Bond pair, bond pair. So we have to keep it at what angle? 90. One here, one below. Right? So this geometry is called as octahedral. That means squarogonal pyramidal. No. Squarogonal pyramidal. No. Bipyramidal. No. This is called as what? Octahedral. How does it look like? Please be careful here. Sulfur, take fluorine, 2 fluorine, 3 fluorine, 4 fluorine. Is it looking like a square? It should look like a square. Exact कोण measurement घेऊन काढपाक गरज ना. It should look like a square. Then just see that आता रियल सांग तुमका रियल एक्चुअली आता काढपाक गेल्यार डिफिकल्ट जातले. This bond length between these 4 fluorines and the 5th and 6th fluorine is same. Octahedral to कसोय गुणाय it will look either of the way same. सांगून दवरता इमेजीन जात जाल्यार पळय, इमेजीन जात जाल्यार पळय नाल्यार हांव नेक्स्ट टायम स्ट्रक्चर हाडून सांगता. ऑक्टाहेड्रल जॉमेट्री हो एक असो जॉमेट्री आसा तूं तेका खंयच्याय सायडीच्यान गुणाय इट विल लूक द सेम. पळय नाव दिस इज लुक्स लायक अ स्क्वेअर. हो पार्ट आतां स्क्वेअर दिसता, हो पार्ट स्क्वेअर आनी जायना पॉसिबल. This part looks like a square. Yes. हो जाता तूं तेका असो गुणाय. Okay, it will again change like an octahedral only. Also गुणाय also कर. Again, this there will be 4 squares, four bonds like this. This will come up, this will go down. Octahedral geometry तू कसोय गुणातना it looks like this. Yes or no? तू जर हे bond असो हाडलो, again it will look like a square only. Okay, so ते मातशें स्ट्रक्चर आसता न्ही एक्सप्लेन करता. आतां मातशें इमेजीन करपाक पड जायना तें. I know possible जायना. Okay, but इतलेंच सांगता. The main thing is consider पळय इमेजीन करपाक जायना इतलें तरी consider कर. This bond length, 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 this bond length same. सगळे bond length सेम आसा. तर कसोय गुणायला सेम दिसतलो न्ही. Are you getting the thing? सगळे जर bond length सेम आसा, it is which is not so for trigonal bipyramidal. The previous structure what we have done, which is not so for whom? Trigonal bipyramidal. एक एक्सियल आणि एक वर्टिकल प्लेन आसा ते मागीर सांगता तुका एक्झाम्पल करतना. ते सांगता डिफरंट एक्झाम्पल करतना. But for octahedral, all these bond lengths are what? Same. So you have to join it like this. आता काय join करपाक कळटले. This fluorine is joined to what? All the 4 fluorines. This fluorine is joined to whom? All the four fluorines. Imagine तरी जाता पळोवपाक कितें दिसता तो. So imagination कळ्ळें. 4 स्क्वेअर आसतले, एक वयर एक सकल, सगळी बॉन्ड लेंथ कितें आसात सेम आसतली. एंड फर्स्ट the vertical one and the horizontal one, the angle will be what? Vertical and horizontal 90. What is the geometry? What is this geometry called as? When bond pair 6, lone pair 0, count is 6, the geometry is octahedral. Squarogonal bipyramidal बरोवपाची ना. Don't write squarogonal bipyramidal, imagining the previous one, trigonal bipyramidal. Okay, please. So geometry is octahedral. What will be the shape? It will also octahedral. Clear as this is these examples which I have done where everywhere lone pair was 0. आता मुखार आमकां जे examples करपाक जाय, we have to consider what? Lone pairs. Okay, take a note of this. एक लोन पेराचे एक्झाम्पल घेऊया आणि विल स्टॉप. हा एक लोन पेराचे एक्झाम्पल घेऊया, एक ते दोन आणि विल स्टॉप टुडे. आय होप द कन्सेप्ट मस्त था. हा ते टेट्राहेड्रलाकूच तो सांगले तुका हांवें द स्ट्रक्चर टेट्राहेड्रलाची जेन्ना स्टडी केली पळय टेट्राहेड्रल जॉमेट्री, द बेस्ट पॉसिबल अरेंजमेंट ऑफ द एटम्स इज लायक दिस वेर रिपल्शन इज मिनिमम. ना कितें जाता हेंका पळय हेंका सकल बॉन्ड उरता न्ही बाकीच्या सकल बॉन्ड उरता सो ते एक प्लेनी उरतले तिनी हेका सकल बॉन्ड ना न्ही तेका लागून तशें जाता. सो ते रिपल्शन जे म्हणटा पळय बॉन्ड पेर तेका ते बेंड जाता. तेजी डिटेल स्टडी करया मुखार आसा न्ही स्टडी आसा डोंट वरी अबाउट दॅट स्टडी आसा. चॅप्टर हो अजून सोंपना हो चॅप्टर इज व्हेरी लेंथी चॅप्टर टायम लागता खूब टायम लागता. मागीर तुमकां ते हे बी काडून दाखयतलो आमी ऑर्बिटल्स डायग्राम काडल्या पळय तेजे अकॉर्डिंग रिस्पेक्ट टू अंडरलायन करतलो एक्सप्लेन करतलो कळटलें. डाउट क्लियर जातले डोंट वरी. एवरी इयर आसता म्हाका तो क्वेश्चन हो क्वेश्चन एवरी इयर. सर टेट्राहेड्रलाचोच मदीं कित्याक तो डिफरंट काय म्हणून सो टेट्राहेड्रलाची ती तीन हांव सेम अशें दवरपाक शकना न्ही एक क्लिनीक सकयल बॉन्ड ना न्ही तेका बाकीच्या पळय आमगेले स्क्वेअर हेका ऑक्टाहेड्रला देर इज बॉन्ड अप एंड डावन ट्रायगोनल अप एंड डावन टेट्राहेड्रला वयरूच आसा एक बॉन्ड सकयल आनी सो ते रिपल्शनूच तितली जाता की ते बँड जातात बॉन्ड कळटलें मुखार मुखार मातशें कळटलें जस्ट गिव मी सम टायम ऑटोमॅटीक कळपाक लागतलें See how the structure looks like. Almost same दिसतं पळय सगळ्या सायडीच्यान. Okay? Please be careful. The bonds सगळे almost मातशे same दिसपाक जाय. आणि कलरिंग पेन्स जर तुम्ही यूज करतात आता नोटबुकार नो प्रॉब्लेम बेस्ट एक्झामी जर तुमकां हे डिफरन्स दाखोवपाक जाय आस्क युअर टीचर्स वेदर यू कॅन यूज कलरिंग पेन्स यूज करपाक अलाउड ना कलरिंग पेन याद धरात डोंट डू द विथ द सेम थिंग इन द एक्झाम डायरेक्ट 0 घालतली टीचर direct 0 but in the notebook it should be there your teachers have not told you to use coloring pens shocking mare baba not in a single school teacher has told to use coloring pens shocking coloring pens नसताना chemistry शिकपा easy ना it's very easy दिसता तुमकां हे शिकपाक without coloring pens without differentiating possible जाय ना okay एक example घेता आता different example घेऊया मातशें so I will take one example I have with me many examples एक बरें example खंयची घेऊया easy example पळयता हांव try करता हांव easy example एक easy example easy नाचता मरे एक simple example घेता म्हटल्यार just wait एक example पळयता हांव नेट गेल्यार मेळना मेळना ओके सो घेऊया ते नायट्रोजनाचे 2 डॉट दिसता NH3 आज कळटले कोण ते 2 डॉट बरें कळटलें ओके आतां खंय आसतले खंय प्लेस करतले तेका ओके एक फर्स्ट एक्झाम्पल घेता हांव ओके मातशें फोकस करत एक एक्झाम्पल विथ अ लोन पेर यू विल गेट पळय लोन पेर फर्स्ट थिंग I told you to write electronic configuration 1s2 2s2 आणि 2p कितले आसतले 7 दिसो 2p 3 करेक्ट आसा Yes, how many valence electrons nitrogen have? 5 valence electrons. Correct? Acha, be careful. First thing, we'll write the type. Type body. A, B3. Okay, type my body. Tell me how many bond pairs it will be. Total electrons kitle 5. Out of 5, 3 we will use to make bonds with whom? Hydrogen. So how many bond pairs I will get? 3. बॉन्ड पेयर म्हणजे एक नायट्रोजनाचो एक इलेक्ट्रॉन हायड्रोजनाचो एक बॉन्ड पेयर सो लाईक दिस हाऊ मेनी बॉन्ड पेयर विल मेक 3 फुल्ली कितले 2 फुल्ली इलेक्ट्रॉन कितले आउट ऑफ 5 2 उरले 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन म्हटल्यार एक पेयर 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन म्हटल्यार एक पेयर सो हाऊ मेनी लोन पेयर्स आई विल गेट बी केअरफुल लोन पेयर 1 लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स 2 बी केअरफुल क्वेश्चन तुझ्या एक्झामीन तरी वाचपाचें किती विचारला लोन पेयर विचारला का लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विचारला इफ इट इज लोन पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स 2 लोन पेयर टोटल काउंट कितना आयलो 4 नाउ विल राइट द टाइप कैन यू टेल मी द टाइप नाउ A B3 E1 कळ्ळें why it is E1 because how many lone pairs we have 1 how many bond pairs we have 3 central atom clear now can you tell me the geometry the total count is how much 4 let it be I know lone pair is not 0 the total count is what 4 so 4 means the geometry is what tetrahedral now be careful if I want to draw the tetrahedral it will be imaginary katta it will be like this geometry हमको सगळ्यांक खबर आसा tetrahedral how does it look like now if we have to place the hydrogens such a way that the repulsion should be what we have to place them such a way that repulsion should be what minimum आणि एक कोण आसा आमगेलो एक लोन पेयर आसा न्ही लोन पेयर we draw like this एक लोन पेयर आसा now students there is a repulsion called as what bond pair which is less than bond pair आणि कोण lone pair, which is less than lone pair आणि lone pair. This is the repulsion order. So सगळ्यात चढ repulsion खयचे lone pair. Then medium will be bond pair, lone pair. आणि सगळ्यात कमी repulsion खयचे bond pair. आता आमच्याकडे bond pair असता आणि bond pair lone pair असता न्ही. Can you imagine this? So can you tell me where should I keep it the lone pair? Is it here only? I will keep it here only, yes or no? Here. Because आमच्या lone pair and bond pair repulsion will be what? Minimum. हांगा दवरपाक possible आसा? Can I keep any lone pair here? Can I keep it here? Can I keep it here? So I have to keep it where? At the top. Understand that? Very important. Very important. You should know where to keep the lone pair. You cannot keep just say, no, sir, this the geometry looks like tetrahedral. I will do lone pair here. I will put hydrogen here. You will get a geometry correct. Geometry is correct. Tetrahedral, you have written. But is the geometry correct? You have drawn it correctly? No. Because what is the mistake here? Because this repulsion will be what? Very much, yes or no? This repulsion will be what? Very much. Here repulsion will be after but here matter karta nahi humka bond pair. But which is more matter to us? Lone pair and what? Bond pair. So I will keep here what? Hydrogen. And I will keep here what? Kite zala boy. So it will look like this. Imagine karta hu. Imagine kar. This will be 3 hydrogens. I will keep like this. Bond pair repulsion. Bond pair, which is also minimum, and which is highest here, lone pair and bond pair. So this is lone pair, bond pair, minimum repulsion. Yes or no? Clear asa? What is this geometry look like? Tetrahedral. आता हमको किती बरोबर जाय? Shape. While writing shape, Kuturio म्हणून बरोबर just hide the lone pair. While writing the shape, just hide the lone pair. पहिले म्हटलं lone pair सांगची जात बोलता का? Why we have placed lone pairs here? Because lone pair, bond pair, repulsion is what? Minimum we are getting. We have only one lone pair. Second thing, the geometry looks like tetrahedral. Yes, the geometry is what? Tetrahedral. कशी आली? 3 plus 1 count is what? 4. Geometry is what? Tetrahedral. Type करो. Geometrically, we have drawn the geometry. Now while writing the shape, hide whom? Lone pairs. जर I lone pair काढलो, is it look like a triangular pyramidal? Is it looking like a trigonal pyramidal? The shape is what here? Trigonal pyramidal. The shape, what I will get here is what? Just 1 minute. Trigonal pyramidal. The shape here is what? Trigonal pyramidal. This is the first example. कशी आमकां आनी 10 तरी examples करपाक जाय different. Any questions here? आता कळ्ळें नायट्रोजनाचे लोन पेर कित्याक काडटा ते आमी कळ्ळें आता नायट्रोजनाचे लोन पेर ते दोग जाण ते कोण दोग जाण लोन पेर हांगा कित्याक दवरल्या तेका वयर ते सायडीक कित्याक दवरना कितें मिनिमम जावपाक जाय रिपल्शन मिनिमम रिपल्शन बिटवीन लोन पेर एंड बॉन्ड ओके कळटा So I will stop for today. Thank you everyone. See you in the next class.